in terms of looking for the symptoms, because it's largely an illness that is unacknowledged, that is unrecognized, and people can't even diagnose it in themselves, leave alone look for symptoms in their kin, their closest family, children and spouse and in-laws and siblings and so on. So let's talk a little bit about high functioning depression. High functioning depression, the symptoms are to do with people who don't understand it themselves, people who cannot diagnose it in themselves that something is wrong with them. These are individuals typically who exhibit symptoms of a few things which I will list. One is definitely to do with workaholism, which is they are constantly doing, so they are not being, which means that they wake up in the morning and they are kind of looking for tasks, so they immediately jump out of bed and then they get into a routine. They start doing things mostly for others, not even for themselves. So the very fundamental tasks of things which they can do for themselves they will, but things which they ought to be doing for themselves more, they will kind of push to the sidelines, and they will be focusing on uh, ways to improve their self-worth in the eyes of others, which means they will keep on doing tasks for others, like cooking or making breakfast, and taking care of household chores like cleanliness, and then looking for ways to kind of chalk down a checklist for people in their family. So this is high functioning depression, where they uh, do not acknowledge parts of themselves. It is a form of self abnegation, it's a form of self hate, and people need to watch out for these symptoms in themselves, and family members need to watch out for this in people in their home. High functioning depression, another symptom is perfectionism, where a person has seemingly lost control of many aspects of their life, and so they want control in things around them, things, right, which is like their desk or their home, bookshelves, stuff in the kitchen, uh, stuff in the refrigerator, beds, furniture, things of this nature. They are constantly kind of cleaning or putting in order. So you will see people of this nature who are shutting out their thoughts. They are cleaning the refrigerator, they are cleaning the kitchen, they are putting things in order in the bookshelf, or they are doing things repetitively, which means they would have made a bed, but they'll just be going and smoothing the bed sheets, and it's a form of anxious doing. Anxious doing is a very very clean symptom of things not being normal with that individual. So they want control over things, and they extend it sometimes to control over people in their family, which means they will be constantly instructing people around them to keep things in order, right? It's a form of obsessive compulsive disorder, or OCD, and a lot of parents have this. Children often face the brunt of this kind of a depression, the doing symptom, right? um, or perfectionism, which means anything and everything is not acceptable to them, like things being as they are is not acceptable to them. So just being is a very very difficult state to achieve for an individual of this nature. uh, a third symptom is to do with rejection. People are extremely worried about rejection, and so they keep on defining their self worth in small ways of acceptance or approval from others, which means approval from teachers, approval from work colleagues, approval from family members, approval from friends, approval from WhatsApp, approval from Facebook, approval from Insta, right? So they're so lonely that they want to be able to seek for approval from everyone around them, right? So they will be making um, pings into social media. They will be calling people frequently, small calls, but they will be calling, and they will be seeking for filling that vacuum or void that they have inside. Extreme lack of self-worth, and this can happen because of over extenuating disapproval that has come during their childhood, which is they are constantly they have been told as children that they need to do better, they need to do better. So the bar has just been raising for them as children, that they need to learn better, they need to perform better in class, they need to learn more hobbies, they need to get perfect in keeping their organizing their room and their school and their homework and whatever, right? So the bar has been raising that they have an inbuilt anxiety of completing that reaching that bar or overextending that bar, so that finally that vacuum inside is somehow fulfilled. So the parents are constantly increasing the responsibility in such a way that it has built an anxiety in the person as a child, and these people as adults have extremely low self-worth. And because they have low self-worth, they are constantly in this seeking approval mode, and because they are in seeking approval mode, it has become a disorder where they are not happy with themselves, they are not satisfied with themselves, and this can manifest in constant anxiety, constant stress, I'm not enough, I'm not enough, that kind of a stress. And insomnia, where even if they go to bed, that respite isn't there, the rest is not given to them by their mind. Constantly they are trying to prove something, proof for themselves, and this is very very sad. I would say almost every individual in India, uh, in the education system, as housewives, as people who do not have solid something to prove to the world, as social standing or status symbols or education or career or bank accounts. People who are exempt from this are constantly subject to this prove yourself syndrome, right? Always prove yourself, and when they are in that, all it's very very natural that anxiety is a side effect. It's not a side effect, actually occupies your entire being, so much so that you don't feel self-worth anymore. Small things don't give you happiness. Let's say you made a very good dish, or you had a happy call with someone, or you enjoyed yourself thoroughly by looking at jokes and laughing loudly. All these will stop giving you happiness. Everything is seemingly meaningless, and this is where the roots of depression are taking deep inside your soul. It becomes a canker, it becomes rust in such a way that you can't eliminate it. So when you go to bed also, these demons will follow you, and all these voices keep coming in and saying you have to prove yourself. By the way, you didn't do this, you might have done all of these, but I'm going to erase all of this. That nasty voice is saying these are the things which you didn't do, wrong, 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 and you are worthless, you are worthless. That voice keeps talking to you, and this is really a syndrome that exists for housewives and students largely. And in a country of the size of India, no one is exempt, no one is exempt. Please pay attention to this illness, and this is a form of high functioning depression, and eats away at a person in such a way that it starts to manifest in insomnia, it starts to manifest in stress in such a way that they can't even talk sometimes. If there are two people in the room, you will see them start to stammer, they'll start to uh, get into tears sometimes. Let's say they are speaking something, their voice is extremely low, and when they are trying to say or make a point, let's say someone rudely cuts them off, they will immediately start to get into tears. It has happened to me. I have had this on occasion where I have stammered, and I have uh, lost articulation or completely lost the point sometimes. I'm so intimidated by someone in the room that I will forget the point. I will start to lose cognition in such a way that I can't even articulate anymore, and I'll immediately leave the room and start making noise to dull the thought in my brain which is saying, I'm worthless, I'm worthless, right? It took me lots and lots of cognitive exercise to overcome this and tell myself that I'm enough. I'm enough. I'm enough in whatever way. I don't need to prove through constant achievement that I'm enough for the world. It's not a race of you against the world. It is just you. Just be with yourself. Give yourself that self care and self love. I was reading this very, very useful tip, and it just struck me so impactfully that I want to share this in today's video. It's a coping mechanism. Uh, Treat yourself as you would treat a child. How do you treat a child? You're kind to them, right? You're happy. Like when you see a little one, especially, what do? Immediately your voice changes and you start to get to the level of the child because you want to somehow connect to that happy person. A child is almost happy, right? Always they're quiet, they're happy, they're little bit stable within themselves. So you want to go on latch on to that happiness. So what do? You're like, hi, how are you? You're immediately your entire demeanor changes, and you want to treat them with kid gloves, as they say. You want to show them kindness, you want to show them happiness, you want to show them uh, worth of being, right? So you start by telling them a story, or you play a little game with them, or you just want to cackle with them and have laughter in the room. Treat yourself that way. When you wake up in the morning, treat yourself as a child. Think, I am a child for myself, right? Then you will see that your self worth increases so much. You will be, oh, I need to give this child food. I need to make coffee for this child, or I need to make a hot cup of milk, or you know what, let me add that extra piece of slice of butter to this piece of toast. So you are kind of treating yourself kindly, and you are kind of reaffirming your self worth with every little action, and it had such an impact for me, especially during quarantine. During quarantine, I had started to really disassociate to such an extent that I would ignore food, I would just be reading, or I would be binging on Netflix, and so on and so forth. And I started to uh, treat myself with kindness, and it worked wonders for me, in the sense that I started to get back to life. I started to look at things around me and express interest in life, in being, right? So that is one tip I wanted to talk about. Another tip I wanted to talk about is find something to tend to, find something to care for. It can be even a very, very small money plant. I have one. See, I have a very, very small thing which I'll show you. It's just a very small thing, see, little one, but every time it puts out a small shoot, right? Can you see the small leaf here? Every time it puts out a shoot, I'm so happy. It's affirmation of life. It is that there are things around you that are growing. Things will take place despite how you are, and your monkey mind and the negative things that it keeps pouring into you. There are things that are positive in the world. So find something to grow, like fundamentally take care of a plant, or if you have a pet, nothing like it. You can kind of play with the pet, you can tend to the pet, and so on and so forth. So that is the second tip I had. And the third tip is, which I stated in my earlier video as well, make lists, positive lists about yourself. When you start your day, start by being grateful. When you end your day, end it with a prayer. Between these two, you can look at small things which you like about yourself, right? Let's say you like to sing in the shower. Write it, I like to sing in the shower. And you will, without cognition, your brain has recorded it somewhere. It's all what you write is connected to your neural network in some way or the other. And so when you write it saying I like to eat ice cream, or I like to sing in the shower, or I like to call X person, right? Automatically you are doing them. So these are like small small vitamin pills of happiness that you are giving yourself. So start your day with gratefulness. I am thankful for having all of this: a roof over my head, food on my plate, nice clothes to wear, shelter, so on and so forth. I'm thankful for fundamental things in my life. There's a guy who comes and delivers milk to me. Regularly, he'll come. Every day I wake up, have a window to look at the sunrise. Small things you can be grateful for. You don't need to be really, fancy about that. Uh, End the day with a prayer. Thank you for this day. I've been really, sensible throughout today. I probably managed to stay afloat. I don't feel like I'm walking through water, because depression and anxiety can feel like you're walking through water, very very slow and sluggish. It can attack you suddenly during the day, where you want to just crouch away somewhere and not look at the world. So if you have managed an entire day well, that in itself is a huge achievement, and that's a prayer. Thank you for today. And I pray for something else.